The people in Southern California are breathing the worst air in the country, but there are new ambitious plans to clean up the smog in the sprawling four-county Los Angeles area. Last night, two regional authorities approved a program to phase in 123 strict new anti-pollution steps over the next 5 years, with more to come later. Everything from backyard barbecues to power plants would be affected. Among the changes, lower emission for diesel vehicles, no more gasoline-powered lawnmowers, reduce emissions from paints and solvents, ban barbecue fuels that need starter fluid. Also, an increase in parking fees for cars that don't carry passengers, raise registration fees for drivers with more than one car, restrict the number of family cars, and eventually have all cars powered by methanol, compressed gas, or electricity. All cars' tires must be radials, which put less rubber in the air. There is no smog in the nation of Ecotopia. That's because it exists only in the mind of Ernest Callenbach. Callenbach's visions, published in a book, are becoming alarmingly prophetic, as Don Oliver reports.
It is an unusual kind of book, and it was rejected by about 25 New York publishers when I first started trying to find someone to publish it.
The students in this classroom weren't old enough to read when Ernest Callenbach finally got his book published. With the help of some friends, he paid for it himself. It was 1975, and the book was called Ecotopia, a novel of your future. Now it has been read by more than 1 million people and is still in print. And Callenbach has become sort of a cult figure.
About a month after it first got into bookstores, it began to really take off. And I discovered people would... they'd kind of come up to each other and say, "Psst, you know, I've got this really weird book, and I think you ought to read it." And it was called a cult book for that reason, that it kind of appealed to people as secret wisdom that hadn't gotten abroad in the land yet.
Callenbach, to his surprise, found himself in great demand on high school and college campuses as a guru of the future. The plot of the novel contained the plan. Environmental concerns caused the states of Washington and Oregon and Northern California to secede from the Union and form the country of Ecotopia. San Francisco is the capital. In Ecotopia, all motor vehicles would be gone, replaced by electric cars. Big businesses would be broken up. High-rise office buildings would become apartments. Workers would own the companies. The work week would be 20 hours. Synthetic fibers ceased to be made, only natural cottons and wools. The elimination of pesticides in the production of food. A much more primitive lifestyle, people living communally, placing emphasis on the survival of the planet.
It's the way I would like to live if I could. If I could persuade all my friends and family and everybody to live that way, I think we'd all be better off, and I would be a happier man.
Ecotopia suggests little neighborhood communities like this one in Davis, California, with energy-saving devices, an agricultural cooperative, a daycare center, and communal open space.
The ecotopian way of life is a way of life that's living with the earth, living within a system that can maintain itself for perpetuity, not a way of life that destroys the planet.
In his narrative, Callenbach weaved together an array of technological changes that he said man needed to make in order to stop his wasteful, polluting ways. Now, 14 years later, some of those ideas have become accepted realities.
The important thing from my perspective is to get as many alternate energy sources in place as we can.
He thinks the increasing number of windmill farms generating electricity is encouraging, and he continues to urge the use of photovoltaic cells to produce electrical power. In one housing tract in San Diego, 1/3 of the homes are equipped with the cells, which transform sunlight into energy. It is fed into the local utilities power grid and reduces the homeowner's electric bill.
I feel like we're in the beginning of a very wonderful thing, and our children are proud of it.
Callenbach proposed pollution-free magnetic trains to carry commuters. Both Japan and Germany are now testing them. In Islip, New York, garbage is being recycled like it would be in Ecotopia. The city was forced into it by all the publicity over its garbage barge, which wandered the oceans for 6 months looking for a place to dump. The recent oil spills and beach dumping of medical waste have created interest in the business community in the things Callenbach has to say.
And I think that ecological disasters are going to increase in both severity and public impact. We may have a nuclear meltdown, for example. it is possible that the greenhouse effect is happening and we will get hotter and more extreme weather.
He has also signed a deal which may turn Ecotopia and its message into a TV movie.
My guess is that an awful lot of people, if they were given the chance to live an ecotopian life, which is more emotionally secure and more convivial and less stressed and less pressure, but also poorer, they would say, you know, it's going to be worth it. This is my bet with the future.
Don Oliver, NBC News, Los Angeles.